All right, shalom, shalom. Shalom. Turn that a little down. So, we're going to continue our series going into what they call the minor prophets, line upon line, just to get the context of the prophets, setting, and understanding prophecy, understanding what the Lord put on these prophets' spirits when they went out and when they rebuked, when they taught, and were ordained, sent out, or whatever message the Lord sent them with, right? So we're just going to get the context of these prophets. So first, let's start off at 2 Peter chapter 1. Right? Verses 20.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit.
So holy men were moved by God and they spoke. They were moved by the Most High Spirit. None of these prophets spoke without the Holy Spirit, without the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, right? So during the times of Malachi, anybody remember what Malachi is in the ancient Hebrew? How to say it? Malachi, which means what? Messenger. And around what time do we know Malachi lived? Historians say around 435 BC-ish is when Malachi was written. So he is contemporary with Ezra and Nehemiah, which is very important concerning what? What time?
Temple building.
The building of the second temple. We call that the second temple period. Post-exilic, which means when the children of Israel did what? Left Babylon after the 70-year probation period, right? When the Most High sent us into Babylon around 608 BC, we returned 538 BC. The temple is finished around 516 BC. And who do we have as governor? Zerubbabel is now the governor, reinstituting Jerusalem as a capital city on the planet, but he is not a sovereign king. He's paying tribute. The children of Israel are still paying tribute to the Achaemenid Empire, right? Which were the Persians and the Medes that ruled over them. Then you have Ezra as a governor and Nehemiah as a governor, right? Probably about 60 years later, right? Which is roughly 455 to 425-ish BC around this dispensation of time. Gone? So we have to get this understood, because during this time, there are events happening around the children of Israel, wars, right? A lot of things are taking place. This is why you have to marry history with the Bible in order for you to understand it in context. Now, it's even a mystery, and I'm not going to say I stand on this, but some people say that because in the Targum, which is another version of the Bible, which was in Aramaic, right? The Targum, it says Malachi was scribed by Ezra. So now you have a lot of historians that say, well, maybe Malachi is Ezra, because his name, maybe it means messenger of God. I believe that Malachi was an actual person outside of Ezra, though. We have to remember that Ezra was also what? A scribe. Just like Jeremiah had a scribe who was who? Baruch. Right? So now, let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 1 really quick. Let's go down to the last two verses. 2 Ezra 1. Down to the last two verses. Somebody help Brother Charles because he doesn't guide him with the Apocrypha and things of that nature. Somebody sitting there so he go Second Ezra 1, last 2 verses.
This is Second Ezra chapter 39. Excuse me, chapter 1, verse 9. I will give. Second Ezra chapter 1, verse 38. Now, brother, behold what glory, see them that cometh from the east, to whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Osias, Amos, and Micah, Joel, Obadiah, and Jonas.
Yeah, just read it in the Greek literation.
Nahum,
Transliteration.
and
Zephaniah.
Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Lord.
You see that, which is called also an angel of the Lord. So here you have Ezra, who is a scribe of this prophecy, and he's saying he's going to give the people Malachi. So clearly Malachi is his own person, but he's called the angel of the Lord or the messenger of the Lord, right? So clearly, if Ezra is writing about Malachi, he's a contemporary with Ezra. So that's crystal clear, right? So now let's begin in Malachi chapter 1, the last 2 verses, because who remembers what's taking place in the temple?
The offerings are unacceptable. They're giving lame offerings, and they're not doing it according to the law.
Right.
It gives unblemished sacrifices to the Lord.
They were given lame, sick, blemished lamb, right? Offering it to the Lord. And what did the Lord had? He had an ought with the people. He's saying, listen, you give your king pure tribute. You make sure he gets the best, but you're going to give me the lame and the sick. You give your governor, the person you pay tribute to, that's ruling over the Achaemenid Empire, you give your governors better than what you give me. And you see that playing out now with Israel as well, too. Black, Hispanic, and Native American people will give their best to their job, to their taskmasters, to their employers, to their pastors, to President Biden, to the mayor. They give their best to the government. But when it comes to the Most High, the Most High understands. God understands. He knows my heart. Right? But you won't give God your best. But you'll give man your best. Right? So let's read from Malachi chapter 1. And let's start from the last two verses.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 13. He said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and ye have snuffed at it, saith the Lord of hosts. And ye brought that which was torn, and the lame, and the sick. Thus he brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand, saith the Lord? But cursed be the deceiver which hath in his flock a male, and voweth, and sacrifices unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
You see that? He's telling Israel, listen, I'm a great king. See, his throne is from everlasting. You know what that means? Just try to count the thrones throughout history. They're innumerable. His throne, you can't keep up where it begins. It begins with the Father, because Yahushua was given the throne and to be ruler. But how many of you can count right now how many thrones it's been since the beginning of time? You can't number. Right? He's before all of those. Right? But we see these rulers come up and they rule, and every ruler that came up as the emperor of the Near East, they were always given the title King of Kings, Lord of Lords. So when Yahushua says, I'm the King of Kings and I'm the Lord of Lords, he means that. And he's speaking in Near East idiom language. Because these kings like Nebuchadnezzar II, like Cyrus, right? Like Alexander, and all the Caesars of Rome, they were men of pomp. They were proud men who believed that they were God manifested and would have men worship and bow at them, thrown into lions. Right? These were proud men. And so now what's around the children of Israel, all of these rulers around them, but yet they fear these men. They reverence these men, but they don't reverence the creator of the heavens and the earth, whose throne is from where? Everlasting. Right? So he said, I'm a great king. So this is the message that's going all throughout Judea, right? And the rest of the world, because during the times of Nehemiah and Ezra, you have Sanballat, right? The governor that was to the north, who was from Samaria, right? And his men that he had around him, the other governors and rulers, or his allies, coming against Nehemiah, coming against Ezra, as they're trying to build the Most High city. And they say, this is the bad city. And believe it or not, amongst these Achaemenid officials, right, there were Israelites to the north as well, who were against the temple being built at Jerusalem, who were worshiping at the temple in Gerizim. All of this is taking place. I'm just summarizing it for right now as a preface. All of this is taking place. But when you look at it, according to history, Ezra was having much conflict. Nehemiah was having much conflict with trying to bring even those who were worshiping at Samaria, right, to get the understanding that Jerusalem was being reestablished and they didn't want anything to do with it. Okay? So that's what was taking place. Right? So now we understand the Lord is saying, listen, I'm a great king, Israel. And I have all these oughts with you. You do this, you do this, you do this. Malachi, by the Most High's Holy Spirit, is going to come at a particular people, which are the priests, right? Which are the priests who are Levites. And not only the priests, but also the rulers, the governors, the princes, right? But as we set up the Most High's temple, who's conducting the temple? The priests, right? So we're gonna jump right into, you have something?
Psalm 76:11, vow and pay to the Lord your God. Let all that be around about him bring presents unto him that ought to be feared. He shall cut off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth.
There you go. He's a great king. He's a mighty king, right? And you ought to put the Lord before anybody. Your obedience and your sacrifice, he comes first, right? And so also at the time of Ezra and Nehemiah, what else is taking place? We're Bible believers in here, according to history. What else is taking place before we jump into Malachi 2? The intermarrying of these strange women. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the intermarrying of the strange woman and those actual kids being cast off at the same time.
Right. So there was a lot of amalgamation of religious ideas, idolatry, and the priests were conjoined to that. We're going to go a little bit more in depth, right? So we can know what Malachi is speaking about and what he's preaching against in his sermon, right? And his prophecies that we're going to get familiar with later on in the Gospels. Last question, who remembers from the time of Malachi to John the Baptist, what was that period called? Because we don't see an influx of prophets between Malachi and John the Baptist. Who remembers what that period is called? It's called intertestamental period, right? It's between one testament and the other, okay? So there was about 400 years. Remember when we went into that prophecy in Esdras? When it says it shall be 400 years and until all men die. Everybody remember that prophecy? Who can call it? You want it? Yeah, I'm trying to get y'all to be involved here. Because that's very important.
Second Ezra 7 and 28.
Read that out.
So book of Second Ezra chapter 7 and 28. For my son, Yahushua, shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
You see that? So within 400 years after the prophet Malachi, Yahushua is going to be revealed, and those that know he's the Messiah are going to rejoice with him. Just like when he dies and he resurrects on the third day and goes into heaven, all heaven rejoices. Right? Because now salvation is come. Israel is saved from their sins. Israel is saved from their enemies, right? While we wait on the Lord to come. Because he overcame death, hell, and the grave by condemning sin in the flesh. Right? Continue.
Verse 29. After these years shall my son Christ die, and all men that have life.
See, and all men that have life. What does that mean? After the testament was finished, from Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, right? Paul's epistles, the book of Acts, right? And the other epistles from the apostles, and Revelation. Now, this is all the apostles left, and they all died, and they lived on, and now they left their testament. Right? So that's all men that have life, which was the disciples who passed down this understanding and everlasting life to us for generations to come. That's what that's talking about. So you had the period from Malachi to Yahushua, which is, in John the Baptist, which is 400 years. And it's important to understand that because Malachi 3 and Malachi 4 is going to teach us that. Right? That's when we will see a messenger come with the spirit of Elijah. So you have 400 years, the Yahushua is revealed, the disciples and everyone that believes in him are going to perish and die, and we're going to have the compilation of this book published and compiled so we can understand all of the prophecies and what's for to come. Right? So now let's continue Malachi 2, verses 1.
Malachi 2, verse 1. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart.
All right. So the Lord says, listen, because you are doing this, because you're offering lame and sick, and you have in your flock a male, you know which lamb to give me, you know which of the oxen to give me, but you giving your worst, right? Because you're about your business. Just like when Yahushua went in the temple and they were selling turtle doves and they was just selling anything. There was probably some little sick little turtle dove, sheep outside that they just giving them, hey, $5, man. What's up? Yeah, here, take this sheep. Sacrifice this to the Lord. Right? The Lord, like, what the hell is going on? Right? In the law, he requires one without spot, one without blemish. Right? And that should be us as living sacrifices without spot and without blemish, offered up as a living sacrifice. Right? So now, what we have to understand is the priests received a covenant, right? Diverse from the rest of the tribes, which was to be the messenger of the law. Everybody understand that, right? They were blessed with that, right? And you had other tribes with other blessings, but particularly Levi, they were supposed to orate the law and teach the law. But now you see the Levites being partial in the law. So the Lord's saying, listen, I've already cursed you. I've cursed your blessings, right? So now what's going to take place? The curse is going to be poured out very shortly. But what happens when every single time the Most High sends out a curse upon the earth, he sends a messenger to see if people would believe in his messenger, and then he would do what? Save those people who believed in the one he sent while the curse is overtaking everyone. Right? Let's get that really quick. Numbers chapter 25. Let's start from verse 10 to get a good example. All right? 25. Numbers 25 and 10.
This is Numbers chapter 25 and verse 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned my wrath away from the children of Israel.
Now, slow down. So check this. What was taking place right here? The children of Israel, right? Balaam and the Moabites, along with the Midianites, right, laid a stumbling block before Israel. Right? Give me Isaiah 57 and verse 14 really quick. Laid a stumbling block. Now, what's a stumbling block today? Christianity, like Jesus, that's a stumbling block. Where our people are following this white God. Islam, stumbling block. Right? Elijah Muhammad, a stumbling block. But everyone is following under their education and under their institutions, offering up sacrifices to strange gods in these religions. Right? Bring that up. 14.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 57, verse 14. And it shall say, cast ye up, prepare the way. Take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people.
See, take up the stumbling block out of the way of my people. So as Israelites, we're supposed to say, listen, the Christian church has deceived you. It's a stumbling block in your path to seek God. The imam in that mosque, they are deceiving you. They're stumbling blocks in your path to seek God. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 15.
No, that's it. Go back to Numbers chapter 25, start from the top at 10.
This is Numbers chapter 25, verse 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest.
See, the son of Aaron. Who's Aaron? He was ordained to be what? The high priest. And how do we know? How do we know the Most High chose Aaron? I want the scripture. I just want to know off the top of the head as far as knowledge and the sign how the children of Israel knew that it was Aaron. Because his rod budded. His rod budded. Right? And became that branch of that bowl of almonds. Right? That's how the children of Israel knew. So, okay, this is the miracle. So now it's Aaron. So the Lord was showing his covenant belonged to Aaron and his children. Right? So look how we understand this in the order of the Lord. Right? It's no confusion. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses. He spoke to Moses. That was the Lord's prophet. Right? And Moses went out and did what? Spoke to the congregation. We see Malachi doing the same thing. Right? Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest. So Phinehas is what? A high priest. Right? Go ahead.
Has turned my wrath away from the children of Israel.
So what did Phinehas do? Jump up to verse 7. Matter of fact, start at verse 5.
This is Numbers 25:5. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor.
You see that? Slay everyone that was joined to Baal Peor. Baal, believe it or not, when you go into the Hebrew, means marriage or married to or conjoined to. Right? They were worshiping Baal Peor, another god. Okay? In the wilderness. A stumbling block was laid before them, and the children of Israel took the bait. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses.
So this woman was a Midianitish woman. What does that mean? Her father was a Midianite, but her mother was probably an Israelite. But go ahead.
And in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand.
You see that? He was getting ready to judge according to the Most High's heart. Right? Just like David did. He judged according to the Most. He said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? Phinehas took his javelin and said, we must put these people to death. They're dishonoring the Lord. Right? They're putting another God before our power. Yahweh. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed for the children of Israel.
You see that? Because of one man's righteous act, the Lord held back the plague. Just like when the children of Israel was committed to lasciviousness and set up the bull calf and ascribed the Most High's name to it. When Moses was on the mountain for those nights, in those days, those 40 days and 40 nights, the Lord said, look, I'm about to kill these people. I'm about to kill them, and I'm going to make another people through you, Moses. But Moses mediated. He interceded for Israel. See how important somebody praying for you is? They're an angel of the Lord. You don't got to be an angel with wings in heaven like the seraphims, right, and the cherubims of heaven. You should be an angel between your brother and the Most High, praying for your people, praying for your brothers, praying for your sisters. Moses prayed for the children of Israel. And the Lord said, you know what, Moses? I'm going to repent for this evil, from sending this plague and consuming all of them, because you prayed, right? And because Phinehas got up and killed and judged those two idolaters, he stayed the plague. It's very important to understand, right? Why believing in Yahweh Shai is very important. Because as the curse is poured out on the whole earth, and the curse is coming again via these chariots and the angels, is your belief in Yahweh Shai and you standing up for his zealousy that he lived according to his life for the Most High. The Most High acknowledges that. You trying to live up to him to the best of your ability. The Most High will see you try to righteously follow his only begotten. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 9, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy.
See, he was about to consume the children of Israel in his jealousy. Because remember, he said, I've loved the children of Israel like the wife of your youth. Like, like if you ever had a woman that you've been with since a child, I have. My wife, me and my wife have known each other since about 11 or 12 years old. And I've been in love with my wife since I can remember, you know? And we still together. Even back in our premature days, we had our ups and our downs, right? But she's the wife of my youth, right? It's very important because no one else could fit into that dress. No one can wear that dress but the wife of my youth. That's how close and tight we are, right? And I'm going to go into that as well, because the children of Israel in the days of Malachi, they were neglecting their wife of their youth. The Lord is going to bring that up for these strange women, right? Go ahead.
Verse 12, wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace.
You see that? Listen, he said, that's why I gave unto Aaron my covenant of peace, because it's something about their stock that they love righteousness. There's something about Aaron, there's something about Levi that they love executing righteous judgment. That's why I gave it to him. And because he stood up and slayed these two people, now he's protected, and now the rest of the children of Israel can live on, because I was about to destroy all of them. And my jealousy, because I love Israel like a wife. I'm jealous for my people when they're worshiping other gods before me, let alone worshiping a God at all. There's none beside me, the Lord said, right? Go ahead.
Verse 13, and he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God.
You see that? An everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God. Zealousy for your God, the Lord, listen, he sees that. He sees your zeal for him. And the zealousy of even in the days of Yahweh Shai, this is why it's very important. If you don't believe in that man, just like they believed in Moses in the wilderness, there's no everlasting life for you. The curse is going to befall you. The curse that is coming on the day of judgment. Because you don't honor the man that was zealous for his God in your stead. Go ahead.
And made an atonement for the children of Israel.
You see that? Made an atonement. Him standing up and killing this idolater, that caused the children of Israel's sin to be covered. And let alone why he has the office of the high priest going in one day of the year to offer up the sacrifice for atonement for the children of Israel, the covering for the children of Israel, their sins for that year. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest consent, though thou givest many gifts. So,
yeah, I already know where you're going, because that's a good precept to show you the jealousy of a man. If a man walked in on his wife and caught her cheating with another man, that man can't get up and say, I'm sorry, man. Hey, look, man, I got $50,000 in the bank for you. That man he ain't going to think about money. He ain't going to think about gold. He ain't going to think about cars. He ain't going to think about no offer, but he wants your blood. Because that's sacred to him. Him and that woman have a covenant with each other. That's his property. That's his prized possession. She is the prize above money. She is the prize above gold. Right? So just like the Most High requires death for idolatries because his jealousy. Any man trying to bring in a stumbling block within Israel, the Lord is going to make him a public example. He's done it many times. And that man is going to be judged. Right? Blood needs to be shed. And this is why it's so important to understand Yahweh Shai in these days, because the offering of lambs and bulls and goats, right? They're not fulfilling to the Most High, but the Son of God, Yahweh Shai, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. His blood speaks great things to the Lord. Right? And he died for our idolatry. He died for our adultery and all the other sins that unto death. Right? He died for that. Right? So it's very important to understand the priesthood and the covenant that the Lord made with these men. These are men who are very honorable, whose names are written down in the Bible, who prolonged Israel's days because of their zealousy. Just like Malachi, who was trying to reiterate to them, you are the Levites. You are the priests of God. Why are you treating the altar like it's a damn refrigerator or something? Like you're just throwing anything on it. Right? Why are you treating it like that? Why are you treating your God like this? You're supposed to reverence and fear him above the people, knowing that the Most High, he is more responsibility in your hands if you have a position in an office that you have to uphold before God. The people count on you. To whom much is given, much is required. So Malachi got to bring them back to the remembrance of the Levitical covenant of peace.
It's almost they made sacrifice religious.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like how a Muslim prays 5 times a day,
right,
just because it's part of their routine. It's not
right,
genuine.
Right.
It was the same thing with that began to happen with the Levites.
Right.
They just knew this is what they did,
right,
and it just became religious, a routine.
Right.
Not of the spirit.
Right. It's no different than people who go to church. You know, they're out clubbing all night Saturday night, and they go to church Sunday. And the pastors know. The pastors still take that money and be like, thank you. Oh, thank you, Sister Tracy. Yeah, Tracy. Yeah. That's how they be thinking in their head. That's how they, right? Because, you know, the church is just a whorehouse. Right? So why make the Lord's house a den of thieves and a whorehouse? Right. This is his temple. Right? And the Lord is angry with the priests in the days of Nehemiah, Ezra, and Malachi. Right? Let's continue back in Malachi 2. Start from verse 2.
Malachi chapter 2, verse 2. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart.
You don't even lay it to heart. You're just a ritualistic Israelite.
Right. Right.
That's one of our greatest fears, to be a ritualistic Israelite. The Most High severed us out of all nations to be a peculiar and special people, to be holy. Some of us are just going along with the motions. And this is what Malachi is condemning. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces.
So when he says, I will corrupt your seed, Why is he saying I will corrupt your seed? Because what's taking place? All this interracial marriaging, and these wives have other gods. Right? How can two walk together except they be agreed? Right? And we're going to get into that history a bit. So the Lord is saying, I'm going to corrupt your seed. I told you to be holy, yet you're conjoined to a strange wife. Like we talked about last week, you got a damn Christmas tree in your house. Your wife's like, oh, this Christmas tree's going so good here. You were Israelite, like shaking your head, but you conjoined to that. Right? Oh, let's go to the Thanksgiving feast. You had the Thanksgiving feast, eating turkey with this strange wife, and then served it on the Sabbath day. But you got a strange wife pulling you to the Thanksgiving feast, giving her chocolate on Valentine's Day. Right? How can two walk together except they be agreed? You're not walking with God with a strange wife that's pulling you in all types of directions. Now you're just a hireling. Right? Go ahead.
And spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feast, and one shall take you away with it. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you.
You see that? So now, what he's saying is, when you would offer sacrifice on the altar, there was a particular process that you had to go by. Let's go to Exodus 29 and 10. The dung he's talking about is the dung of the sacrifice. Because the sacrifice, it would be killed, right? And after it was slain, right, after it was killed, then all of the particular pieces that the Lord refused, which was considered dung, right, certain organs and things of that nature that wasn't accepted, it would be taken and it would be burned outside of the city for a sin offering, right? So he's saying, I'm going to take that dung and I'm going to smear it in your faces, meaning you're just as equivalent to the dung of that beast you're sacrificing to me, because your life does not mirror a priest. So therefore, you're going to be taken out of the city, meaning you're going to be removed from your office, removed from your seat, removed from me being a people, and you're going to be burned without the city. And that even goes into more in the eschatological day of judgment. When he said, depart from me, I never knew you, you work of iniquity. And you're going to be destroyed. Right? Let's go to Exodus 29, verses 10.
Exodus 29, verse 10. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron and his sons.
There you go, Aaron and his sons again, the high priest. Go ahead.
Shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right.
And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger.
You see that? Now you had to take the blood of the bullock and wipe the four horns, because there was four horns on the altar of the Lord, right? The brazen altar, right? Go ahead.
And put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And thou shalt...
the blood would drain out to the bottom of the altar of this beast. It was, the temple was bloody. Everybody understand? It's very bloody. Right? Go ahead.
And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar.
You see, those are the things that he wanted burnt upon the altar. Right? Go ahead.
But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung, shalt thou burn with fire without the camp.
You see that? The flesh and his dung shall you burn outside of the camp. Go ahead.
It is a sin offering.
There you go. It is a sin offering. Okay? So now going back to Malachi 2 and 3, let's read.
Malachi chapter 2, verse 3, behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feast, and one shall take you away with it.
Meaning, you're going to be just like that dung and that hide taken outside of the city and treated just like how you offer this sacrifice. You're going to be likened unto that hide and that dung versus what I accept. Because now you're equivalent of this dung. We always like to say, man, you know, we all full of shit. It's a lot for the language, but that's dung, right? Most High saying y'all full of shit. Right? I'm speaking straightforward. Right? Verse 4.
And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts.
You see that? And now as you see, this dispensation we call the intertestamental period, what do you see taking place? A lot of strange religious pieties are standing up in the land, are coming up and sprinkling all throughout Judea. It's division everywhere. Some people don't agree with this, some people don't agree with that. Intermarrying, you got the Hasmonean dynasty, right? Herodians, right? And eventually, 70 AD, what happens? The temple is destroyed a second time. And that is another understanding or layer of the curse being poured out. The Lord wasn't accepting those sacrifices on those altars. He wasn't accepting their circumcisions. He wasn't accepting none of that. Only if you were circumcised here first. Right? Go ahead.
Can you say the Pharisees and the Sadducees too being made up of Levi as well?
Well, it wasn't a lot of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, you remember, they weren't just Levites. These Pharisees and Sadducees, it was a belief system. Right? They kind of took the term, like Sadducees comes from the word Zadok, right? Which means Tazadakia, right? Or righteous, right? So they wore their righteousness in their religion, just like the Pharisees. Because remember, Paul was a Pharisee from the tribe of Benjamin. So it wasn't necessarily just for the Levites, but then you had the halakhic Jews, right, who believed all of the standardized principles in Moses, right? They didn't conform to the modern times of what they considered the religion of those days, like the Pharisees. That's why Christ didn't become a Pharisee, a Sadducee, an Essene, right? He was a halakhic Jew, which means of the way, or to walk with God. In Hebrew, halak means to walk. So is John. Most of the regions of Galilee where they came from, even the disciples, were halakhic Jews. Right. Some of them that were Pharisees like Paul converted, but these were Jews that kept the ancient rituals that were in Moses versus what was changing during the times of Christ from the Pharisees, Sadducees, Essenes, and all the other religious sects. Right?
Yeah, I was saying that because just like I said, the division led to the destruction of 70 AD.
Right, a lot of that was due to that, but it was prophesied to take place anyway.
Would you say that would be like a political thing?
Yeah, it was political and religious. Right? If you apply politics to the Bible, right? Because we got to understand Jerusalem was a government surrounded by other governments. Right? Jerusalem had allies even during the days of David. David had allies and David had adversaries, right? So that was very political. David was in politics, right? Solomon was in politics, right? And when I say politics, I'm not using the modern term, but they were kings who had allies, who conducted trade, right? You see the trade from Hiram and Solomon when he was giving them the cedar wood for the temple. That took political position. Go ahead.
It does say, within, I believe it's Genesis 49, they're going to be in the neck of their enemies.
The neck of the enemies.
That's always because Judah, especially in the people that of jewelry, were always a very political, or somebody that was always able to reach their way to the top,
Right.
no matter where they were.
Right.
You know?
Right. You know, and you see that with a lot of Israelites today too. You know, there's some Israelite camps that they have a political voice today. You know, so
Absolutely.
during the times, but you know, the Pharisees, they had, because they were a commonwealth, right? They could freely worship Yahweh at the temple. Well, they wanted to destroy the temple because they feared that the Jews would revolt and take over again, like you see in the days of Nehemiah, Ezra, with Sanballat, and the rest of those who were coming around about them, trying to stop them from building, just like they're trying to stop us from building now.
Right.
Could you imagine if, you know, the Lord said, go ahead and build the temple back in Jerusalem? I'm not saying he's going to say that, but just imagine all these Israelites going into Israel and got bricks, right? They're like, what the hell are these black people doing? They're gonna be afraid. One, we found our God, or our God found us, I should say, and now we're trying to go on the right track versus being Bloods and Crips and pimps and hoes, and, right? Now we're becoming a government. Now we're a substantial government, and that's what they see. This is the preface of our substantial government soon to take place on earth. And all the other governments will bow to us. Now, this is what's taking place in the days of Malachi, Nehemiah, and Ezra. But how can we move forward when the priesthood is compromised? We can't move forward when we compromise. And a lot of the priests made compromises, right? And they didn't solely serve the Lord their power with all their heart, all their mind, and all their soul, right? So let's go back to Malachi chapter 2, verse 5.
It's Malachi 2 and 5. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me.
You see that? I gave it to him for the fear wherewith he feared me. Meaning he had reverence for me. That's why I gave him it. He reverenced me. Right? Go ahead.
I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name.
See, he was afraid before my name at one point. Now, I don't know this stock of Levi. I don't know this stock of priests anymore. They don't fear my name. Right? Verse 6.
The law of truth was in his mouth.
See, the law of truth was in his mouth. Go ahead.
And iniquity was not found in his lips.
Meaning he didn't beguile people. He didn't deceive people like these priests are doing. Right? But the law of truth was in his mouth. Levites like Samuel. Levites like Moses. Right? The law of truth were in their mouths. Right? Go ahead.
And iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity.
Meaning justice, fairness. Go ahead.
And did turn many away from iniquity.
Now they're accepting iniquity. They're not righteously executing judgment or teaching the people to turn away from their sin. Now they're allowing it and they're compromised. They're compromising because they themselves are compromised in their own life. Right? And the Lord is going to be a little bit more detailed in the things that they're committing before the Lord. That they're considering, you know, it's acceptable. This is what the world is doing right now. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 33 and 8.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 8. And of Levi he said, let the Thummim, and thy Urim be with thy Holy One.
Anybody know what the Thummim and the Urim is? Somebody else.
was a way to communicate with the Most High. It was a
Okay, it was a way, but what is it?
crystals. That's the best way.
Okay, there were two stones.
Stones. Yeah. This one.
Right? There were stones that was behind the breastplate.
Right.
Right? You see this happen. Give Ezra 2 in 59. Really quick. Ezra 2:59. And somebody get 1 Peter 2 and 4.
In the shorter way is a way for them to communicate in the spiritual realm.
This is Ezra chapter 2, verse 59. And these were they which went up from Tel Malah, Tel Harsah, Sharub, Adon, and Amar. But they could not show their father's house.
See, they couldn't show their father's house by record. Right? So they didn't have any records. So they're like, man, we don't know if y'all Israelites. This is how you know that there wasn't no dang heathen, even though they were Nephilims, which means those who gave service to the children of Israel. Right? You had Israelites saying, whoa. We need to know if you're of our kin or not. Whose house are you from? Because we're going up to build a temple to our God. We're going to go build Jerusalem. But these people couldn't prove their records. Right? Well, go ahead.
But they could not show their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel.
Right? Go ahead.
The children of Deliah, the children of Tobiah, the children of Nekoda, 652.
Right.
And of the children of the priests, the children of Habiah, the children of Kaz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was called after their name.
Right.
These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but they were not found. Therefore were they, as polluted, put from the priesthood.
You see, they were polluted and put from the priesthood. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 63, and the Tershatha said unto them that they should not eat of the most holy things, till there stood up a priest with Urim and with Thummim.
You see that? So the Tershatha is the governor, right? So the governor says, look, we got to seek through Urim and the Thummim, like who's granting them grace. Well, we're going to figure this out through Urim and Thummim, right? They will ask the Lord something, and these crystal gems, right? These stones would light up, right? And it would light up a certain way, and the priest knew, hey, listen, the Lord said yea, or the Lord said nay. Will we win the war on the morrow with the Midianites? The Lord will send a sign through the Urim and the Thummim, and it will say the Lord is going to deliver them into our hand. That's how the Urim and the Thummim work, right? Hold on 1 second, because I want 1 Peter 2 and 5 real quick, publisher.
It's 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house.
Now you see that? Ye also as lively stones. See, the stones in the breastplate, right? We understand that those are physical stones, and even the breastplate would light up, right? No different than the cell phone lights up through that mineral. I forget what's it called. What's the mineral?
Cobalt.
The mining.
In Congo?
Yeah.
It's cobalt.
Cobalt, right? Like they need certain rocks, right? That have certain, power that can light up your phone. This is elements from the earth that's lighting up, right? So it's the same thing with the Urim and the Thummim. But now the scripture is saying, ye as lively stones, go ahead, are built up a spiritual house,
and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Yahushua Mashiach.
You see that? So we're a spiritual house. Now, see, these priests, right? They probably had a replica of the breastplate. The Ark of the Covenant was not there. Remember, at this time it was hidden. So it's like the morale was kind of low. But they had to understand, even without these things, we must still be a spiritual house built up as lively stones. We're supposed to let our light shine. Right? Just like we're supposed to do. We don't got the Ark of the Covenant. We don't got the temple. Right? We don't got the candelabra. The enemy seized it all from us. But guess what? We can be lively stones and be beacons of light, and we can be built up as a spiritual house. Because we are the house of God before the bricks are. Right? And this is what the priests failed to understand. They were married to their rituals. They were hirelings. And their heart was not circumcised, neither was they fearing the Lord or trying to be a beacon of light or zealous for their God, even when you're impoverished. Right? You had something?
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30 and verse 7. And David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David, and David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all.
See that? So this is how these things work. When it said Rebekah inquired of the Lord, and the Lord said, 2 nations are in your womb. You think she said, Lord, what's going on with my womb? No, there was somebody who she went and spoke to, most likely. Right? The Lord has spoken through dreams, but when you wanted to inquire of the Lord, just like you see Samuel on the scene, when Samuel comes up, he's the what? The seer of the town. Right? And he's the one that is speaking. He's the mediator between God, the Most High, and Israel. And man, I should say, because if he had a word for the Babylonians, if he had a word for any other nation, guess what? He's speaking to them as a vessel of the Lord to them, to warn them of their judgment, because they've cursed Israel. So therefore, God gonna curse them. Or if they bless Israel, so God gonna bless them. Either or. Right? But the children of Israel, we are the priesthood, we are the prophethood. Right? So go back to Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 8. Everybody understand what the Urim and Thummim was, right?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 8. And of Levi, he said, let the Thummim and the Urim be with thy Holy One.
Let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One. Which means you got power, but you can also leave off from your power, and you can actually use your power for wickedness, which the Levites ended up doing. Vodun or voodoo, right? All of this witchcraft that they got into. Because, you know, you got these people who scoff the Bible. So, you know, Moses was doing witchcraft. Moses was not doing witchcraft. Witchcraft means rebellion. Give me 1 Samuel 15:23, right? Moses was not rebelling against God. He was rebelling against Egypt. When he stretched out his hands because the Lord told him to stretch out his staff over the Red Sea. He was obeying the Lord. He wasn't using divination. He wasn't using enchantment. The Lord was using him by his spirit to show a miracle. That's how simple it is, right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
See, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So you could rebel against God, and guess what? You're partaking in witchcraft. And guess what? Many people who go against the Lord and sin and go off and on their own and got their own little secret thing they do. You're very crafty when you do it, right or wrong. You're so crafty at rebelling, it's like nobody sees me. The Lord see you, but you crafty, boy. You hear a mouse peeing on them, cotton. When you crafty, I'm just gonna get it. Try it again. You make sure everything is set up, schedule right, everything. About 3 hours, right? That's the sin of witchcraft, right? But now, what we got to understand is the Levites, because they're rebelling against their God, being crafty in the temple, selling turtle doves for cheap, right? Don't care how it looks. That's just as wicked as a witch rebelling. How much more to whom much is given, much is required. Right? Continue.
And stubbornness is as iniquity in idolatry.
See, stubbornness is as iniquity in idolatry, because when you're so stubborn and the Lord is telling you, do this, do this, do this, you're making something else have power over you rather than listening to your God. Do this, and that thing that you keep obeying becomes an idol in your life. Right? Let's go back to Deuteronomy 33.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 8. And of Levi he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massah, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah.
No, that's going into when the children of Israel were in the wilderness. Well, go ahead.
Verse 9, who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him.
See, who said unto his father and his mother, this is the blessing of Levi. Who said unto his father and mother, I have not seen him. When you see, when you read stories like in the book of Samuel, when Samuel was weaned off of his mother, right? He was a little boy. Weaning was about probably at the age of 3 or 4, right? He's done, on his mother's teats. And now he goes up and visits Eli. And there he lives with Eli to be raised up as a priest under Levi, under Eli, as a Levite. So he didn't see mother or father. A Levite had to go as a young boy to learn the law of the Lord and how to conduct himself and be educated in the law of the Lord and know how to execute judgment when he gets to a certain age, which is from what? 30 to what? 50. So he got all of those years until he goes out 30 years old, and now he can execute the office of a priest. But that whole time, he was on his God vacation with the Lord. His mother and his father probably went and visited him and gave him gifts, but he was at the college, learning the law of the Lord under the priests, studying the doctrine. And another fold of that understanding is when it says he knew neither mother nor father. Now, when it comes to executing judgment as well, he cannot have his emotions involved. Now, you can have an aunt that was found in adultery. You can't have sympathy for your aunt in adultery. Be like, that's my auntie. No, if she was caught in adultery, and the other man, you got to bring them out. And guess what? He knew neither mother nor father. He has to execute the judgment of the Lord, just like Phineas did when he struck the javelin through them both. And the curse and the plague stayed because of his zeal. That's zealousy, and that's the zealousy of the Levites. Right? That belongs to them. They should have that. And if they had that, we would see our kingdom operate and breathe better. But now we see this clogging up the system. So now the prophets got to go out and rebuke the priests for their hypocrisy and their corruption. Right? Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord.
Start from on the top of verse 9.
Deuteronomy 33, verse 9. Who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children.
You see that? He had to be, his emotions had to be isolated from perverting judgment. Right? Go ahead.
For they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant. They shall teach Jacob thy judgments and Israel thy law.
So they were supposed to teach the law and the judgments. When it says judgments, now you had to use proper discernment. These priests, they were lacking proper discernment. They were lacking discernment. Right? They weren't thinking that generations down the line, this is going to affect the children. To where the Lord says, my seed is going to be corrupt. If you teach your children partiality, they're going to take upon that characteristic. And they're going to teach their children partiality. And then their children are going to learn partiality. And then their children are going to learn partiality. Until there's no partiality, there's nothing. You're not even serving the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
They shall put incense before thee and whole burnt sacrifices upon thine altar.
You see that? Now they're supposed to burn frankincense and myrrh before the Lord. And whole burnt sacrifice. Whole means it has to be accepted by God. Not lame, not sick. Right? This is their purpose. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Bless, Lord, his substance, and accept the work of his hands.
You see that? Bless his substance, Yahweh, and accept the work of his hands. His hands is continually working, right? Offering sacrifices for sin, right? Offering sacrifices, right? Burnt offerings, free will offerings, all throughout the day. And he's saying, let it be acceptable to you, Lord. But when we look at Malachi, it doesn't look too acceptable, right? In the days of Malachi. Go ahead.
And of them that hate him, that they rise not again. And of Benjamin, he said.
So stop right there. When you are done with the verse, just you. It says, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. You got to understand something about the Levites, right? This is an order or a blessing from the Lord. When the French was trying to take over Haiti, they had hell to pay. Literally, that's why they call it Haiti. It means Hades. They had hell to pay. They were smiting Frenchmen in their loins, meaning they couldn't have kids. Right? The Frenchmen, listen, the French said, listen, let them be independent. So let them be independent. And so now, because Haiti, Levites, because they are the people that upheld the powers that the Urim and Thummim brought, the spiritual powers of the temple, the services of God. They became the catalyst of evil demonic power, right? And you slowly see from these days that the corruption of their seed is here today. We see that here. It's live, and it's we could literally look up a YouTube video and see voodoo and see Haitian shamans doing rituals openly. But then all Israel became, got intertwined in that. But the children of Levi specifically were supposed to be righteous and holy and not partial in the law, right? So I just wanted to bring y'all there to get a preface of their blessing, right? And why Malachi is so upset with them, right? Let's go back to Malachi chapter 2.
This is Malachi chapter 2, verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
You see, he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. Let's go to Galatians chapter 4 and 14. He's the messenger. This goes into why his name is Malachi. Because he has a message for the priests who are supposed to be the messengers of the Lord or the angels of God. Right?
Galatians chapter 4, verse 14. And my temptation, which was in my flesh, ye despise not.
See, so Paul, he had something going on. He had an illness. I know a lot of people say that Paul's thorn in the side was a sin. That's not what he's talking about. He had something that was in his flesh. He had an eye disorder. Right? He has something in his flesh that continued to bother him and buffet him. But buffet means to make you perfect. Satan comes and he's adverse against you, but the Lord allows it because Satan is buffering you. Just like when you see a video, right? You see a video and it says buffering. And it takes a certain time length for the buffer. It's 100%. Now the video is clear enough for you to see. Right? So that's what the Lord is doing to Paul. He had a temptation in his flesh when you read Corinthians. Right? He had something going on in his as an infirmity in his body. Right? Go ahead.
Nor rejected, but received me as an angel of God.
Now you see, so they saw Paul had some type of ailment going on with him. Right? But they didn't look at his ailment or his handicap and say, this man is a sickly man. This man, he can't be no leader. Right? But they received him. Right? As an angel of God. And even if you read the next verse, it tells you that the people said that he said, you would have given me your very own eyes. It's because Paul had an eye disorder. Okay? I can go into that a little deeper, but we're going to stay here. Let's go back to Malachi 2. That's just an example to show you, right, that the men of the Lord who are sent out with a message, they are equivalent to an angel terrestrially. Right? We are terrestrial angels when we go out and give messages to the people. And that was supposed to be the priest's duty 24/7. Huh?
Stop it. Chapter 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts.
So the Lord is telling them, you've corrupted the covenant of Levi. Right? You've caused many to stumble at the law. Now, what does that mean? Cause many to stumble at the law. When you see thou shalt not steal, you should say, okay, that means don't steal. But there are people who go on the law and say, but don't really say that or don't really mean that. Like, where's that in the law? You got a lot of that going on. Where's that in the law? Right. So you got a lot of, well, it don't technically say that. Right? So when they're marrying strange women, when they're offering lambs, they're not teaching according to the law. So they could have been saying all type of perverted things to allow these sacrifices to take place, to allow this interracial marriage of these strange women to take place. They are compromised. And so therefore they are not teaching the law. Go to Jeremiah chapter 18, verses 15.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verse 15. Because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient
You
past.
see that? They have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient past. And these are the priests causing the children of Israel to stumble away from the ancient past. The Lord is saying, wait, I thought I made a covenant of peace with Aaron. I thought that they were supposed to teach my people to offer up whole burnt offerings, whole burnt sacrifices, to not be partial in the law, and to execute righteous judgment in the gate.
So they were basically like the first line of law enforcement, right? Like they taught the laws, and without them, if Levi falls, everybody falls, right?
Not necessarily, because when Levi are the ministers of the people, but the one who was over the people concerning the government was the king that came from the line of David, right? He was the actual governor over the people, right? But the Levites, yes, Levi were the oil to the spirit. They were supposed to cause the people to remain in. Now, just imagine, right? We all go to school and we get education, am I right or wrong? The schoolmaster is Levi. When it says, for the law was the schoolmaster until Christ, matter of fact, get that scripture in Galatians. Yes, Galatians 3 and 24.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 24. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto a Mashiach.
See, the law was the schoolmaster. Anybody know what that means? The schoolmaster is the one. The schoolmaster is the one that disciplines. Go ahead.
That's why when you go to Hebrews, I believe chapter, you get it up.
Yep. The schoolmaster is the man that's in the class, that's the disciplinary. That's Levi. Right? He's teaching the law and he's also disciplining, which is executing the righteousness of the judgments of the law. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 28. He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. So just to go along with what you're saying, the schoolmaster brings discipline.
Right.
Under the law of Moses, if he did disobey that law or the laws that Moses gave to him,
Right.
Died without mercy, or certain things happen.
Right. And you see, they were being partial. So the Lord saying, now I'm going to corrupt your seed. You're not executing righteous judgment. So we know that in this letter, Paul is explaining that the works of the law being circumcision at this time, right? That doesn't justify you, right? But all the things that were against these newcomers coming in, like they're not being circumcised, doesn't mean they are exiles. Because that was under Moses. Now we're under Yahweh Shai, free from the bondage, right, of the law. Meaning if you broke it, then you had to pay that penalty. That's the purpose of the schoolmaster. That's why Levi was there. To also teach and usher in the law, but also to execute it. Right? You had something?
John 1 and 17, for the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua.
That's right. So grace, which is unmerited favor. You didn't do anything so special when God said, you know what? I'm going to choose you because you're just so righteous. I like this guy. Right? The Lord didn't, he gave us favor we didn't deserve. And then when it says truth, the law is truth, but Yahushua magnified the law where people stumbled at. Right? Especially during his time, with all the religious pieties in that land at that time, all of the strange doctrines and traditions at that time, Yahushua was casting down and bringing light to the spirituality of the law.
Right.
And him being that sacrifice of sin for the children of Israel, there's no need for the schoolmaster to discipline because the Lord is accepting anyone that believes in Yahushua without punishment or condemnation. Everybody understand? Go. Continue out. Malachi 2.
All right. This is Malachi 2, verse 9. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people.
You see, I've made you contemptible and base before all the people. What does that mean? That means that everyone is going to look at you and hold you responsible. And you're going to be contemptible. All of the righteous men that could see the corruption, that could see the hypocrisy, they're going to point you out. And in their eyes, you're going to be the lowest of the lowest. You know why? Because you're thinking of me in that same manner. You're offering me anything. You're doing whatever you feel pleased. Whatever pleases you. So now I'm going to turn the tables on you. Everyone is going to consider you contemptible and base. Priest who? Oh man, that brother, man. Now we know the 12 tribe breakdown. Of course, we know Levi did fall very base in the world. Haiti's what, a third world country? Because of their sins. But more circumspect when it comes down to the office of what they hold, the Lord stripped it from them. Because of this. And they were considered base and contemptible.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Would this go align with Hebrews 7,
7 and what?
12? Let me read.
Bring it up.
Hebrews 7 and 12. For the priesthood being changed, meaning transferred, there is made a necessity, a change also of the law. So would this be, can you apply Malachi 2 to this?
Well, I could.
Reasons why it was transferred?
I believe that there is a, now, when you look at the Levitical priesthood under Moses, we know that that's a shadow of Melchizedek.
Right.
We know that, right?
Right.
We know that the atonement was for Yahushua. So it was just transferring back to the order of Melchizedek because the order of Melchizedek was before the Levitical priesthood.
Right. So
Right?
It was replaced. It wasn't transferred.
What do you mean?
Like Hebrews 7, the context of it, you read it. It doesn't. The definition doesn't necessarily transfer. It's replaced and changed. It's replica of the original order of what it once was.
Okay, Con, now I know what you're saying.
That he brought and that you later brought.
Con. So you can't apply that because that was just a shadow. But I wouldn't say because you'll have to kind of try to dig a little bit deep on the Most High's will. You know what I'm saying? To connect those two scriptures, I would say. But I can see where you're going with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As far as the Levitical, a lot of people say the Levitical priesthood, they failed. A lot of people say that. But it was always in the plan of the Most High to have From the beginning, Adam be the priest. Just like Yahweh Shai is going to be the priest given the dominion, just like Adam was given that dominion. We see that in Daniel chapter 7, when it says, and he shall be given a dominion, just like Adam was given a dominion. Right? So that was always the purpose of the Most High. But I think that the Levitical order under Moses was necessary for us to understand the spiritual power of loving the Lord, our God, with all of our heart, all of our mind, all of our soul, with all of the things we offer for sacrifice. Like we had to go through, okay, we offered sacrifices of lamb, bulls, but those come with a greater purpose coming from our heart. You know what I'm saying? What did David say? He said, how can I give you something that you created? You give it, the Lord said, I want the best of your lamb. I want the best. The Lord created that lamb, right? And you're just giving the Lord something back he created. So what is the purpose of giving to the Lord? It's you showing him you gave your best. You can give that lamb all day. The Lord like, yeah, that's the lamb I created. I know that lamb. I know every bad, right? Then you giving it back to me. But it's from here. This is what the Lord is observing in here. Does this know why you're giving it to me? Do you know why you're giving your best to me? Right? The Lord is going to try man, right, with this, right?
Just to add on to what you're saying, even a priest, Solomon brought it out, and Moses brought it out. And this is Samuel. This is 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
There you go. And see, these priests, they were like, oh, we're sacrificing, but they weren't being obedient. And this is why Saul was rejected, because he thought his sacrifice was going to restore him. Right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Samuel 2 and 12. Now the sons of Eli were sons of, what's that?
Yeah, a little
louder. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was seething with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand. And he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. So I was just saying that based upon like how you said, how the priests just start losing their way.
Right. And you're supposed to give all of it to the Lord. Now they shaving off little bits and pieces of it. Believe it or not, you can make money off of animal bones. You can make money off animal hide. You can make money off of these things. And see, Israelites is like, and see, this is what we all get into when we think the Lord is not looking. It's a little bit. The Lord said whole offerings, right? So we got to do this thing according to the law. And we can't be partial, right? But I'm glad these examples are coming out, right? Well, let's continue back in Malachi chapter 2, because we got other places we're trying to go. Go ahead.
This is Malachi chapter 2, verse 10. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us?
You see that? Have not we all one Father? How many of y'all in here got 2 fathers? Everybody got one Father. So what's the message that the Most High is willing? Go ahead.
Hath not God created us? Why do we deal treacherously, every man against his brother, by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Meaning,
we're not staying within the confines of being the holy people. We're desecrating the temple, right? Greater understanding, we're desecrating our own temples by being polluted with heathen. Let alone our hearts being polluted and calloused. The Lord sees a polluted man from very far. Right? So he's saying, now you deal treacherously, every man his brother. So if I'm the father of all of you, Israel, if I'm your father, and you're treating your brother wrong, am I not the father of that next Israelite? What do I command you to do? What do I require you to do amongst your brother? Are you mistreating your sister? Why are you dealing treacherously and deceiving your people? I see what you're doing. Am I not your father too? You think I'm not going to intervene? You think I'm not going to step off of my throne or put the spirit on my prophet? You think I'm not going to come down there? I am. I'm going to warn you and I'm going to let you know that I'm your father. What does the Lord say? Go to Hebrews 12. Verses 5.
It is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
You see that? The exhortation, it's admonishing you so you could do better. He didn't tell Malachi, pick up a damn rock and kill all of them. He didn't say that. He said exhort them. Right? Because those are my sons. I want my sons to come back to me. I want my sons to learn that I made a covenant of peace with the priests. Right? That is Israel's peace. What's a peace offering? A peace offering is something you give to the Lord, right? And it confirms the peace between you and the Most High. And now the covenant of peace is, now this is the answer to your question, Levi had to conduct that so there could be peace between us and the Lord. Right? Because they were offering the sacrifices. They were responsible for another one's sacrifice. Could you imagine the precept you brought out, Samaki Ali? Could you imagine you go in the temple and you bring in your best? And you're like, Lord, I'm giving this to you just thanksgiving offering, right? I'm just giving this to the Lord. And here come Eli and his sons, right? Who had the spirit of Belial on them, right? And they taking bits and pieces of your offering, and that brother walking off like this. And the Lord see that his head is hanging down, like hoping the Lord is going to, and you taking his offering, and the Lord like, what the hell going on here? This man genuinely giving his offering, and you taking it. I'm still going to bless that man, but why are you doing this to your brother? And then probably, when I was in Egypt, I learned something about Egypt. Egypt is a third world country. And China actually takes, like if you go to Egypt, it's garbage mounds. I've seen garbage mounds that high as this building, 3 stories high. And children, I'm talking about 40 children walking on and looking for plastic bottles, looking for food, like poverty, right? China goes into Egypt, takes the plastic particles from Egypt, right? Egypt gives them money. China gives them money so that they can buy the plastic to recycle it, go make something in the factory just to resell it back to China, back to Egypt. The Egyptian government is like bamboozled, right? So now you see the corruption of what these Levites had the power to do, of what the princes and the governors had the power to do, right? Taking from the people and pretending that they're giving something back to the people, right? No. Yahweh Shai said, no greater love is that a man lay down his life for his friends. When you're in a position to teach, when you're in a position as a priest, when you're in a position where you're overseeing, you're supposed to lay your life down. Too many officer this and officer that. Officer means overseer, but what about the minister? Just like the police forgot their job was to serve and protect. They out here choking people with their knees. They out here shooting cars up 40 times, putting 82 bullets in people. Your job is to serve and protect and lay down your life. Not terrorize the community. Not cause it to fall on the brink of third world poverty, right? By stealing, redlining, right? So this is the power that the officials have. Now imagine the children of Israel being the holy people of God and being corrupt and manipulating the people. That's a sad man. And the Lord is not accepting that, right? Because you know better. And then you got the Lord's law in your head. Yeah, thou shalt not. And then you sit back. Remember when Ezekiel saw that vision? Right? He saw Shaphat. He said, look, dig down that wall. Look at these three men. These men's names are in the scriptures forever because they were corrupt, idolatrous, right? Wicked, adulterers, just like the Pharisees. Wolves in what? Sheep's clothing, right? Let's go back to Malachi 2 and 10.
This is Malachi chapter 2, verse 10. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother? By profaning the covenant of our fathers.
See, profaning the covenant of our fathers. Oh, I wanted to go back to go to Hebrews 12 and 9. Salakia. Hebrews 12 and 9.
It's Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits?
See that?
And live?
You see that? Now you respect your physical father. I just admonishing my son last night. And I always tell my sons, listen, I'm your father on earth. He's the Father. Even if you feel like I don't fully understand you, I'm trying to understand you. You got him. He always will understand you. In tears that I may not understand or that I can't read that sings a song to the Most High, you pour out those tears to him. He's your Father. He said he'll never leave you, neither forsake you. You owe him more reverence than you have with me, right? But the commandment is, listen, this is the first commandment. Honor your mother and your father. It's all you knew first. You know, even if you don't know anything about idolatry at 5 years old, you know, respect your mother and father. That's the first commandment with promise. Who don't know that? Right? Who don't know that? So what we got to understand is the Heavenly Father, he's our Father, and he deserves to be honored and reverenced. Right? And we happen to forget that in different paradigms. Israel. I'm married to backsliding Israel. How many times are we going to keep backsliding? Right? Hebrews 12.
Verse 10. For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure. but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
See, he's for our profit. The Lord is for our good. Go ahead.
Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of
You
righteousness.
see that? After you get that good ass whooping, it's going to yield some good fruit. Right? When the Lord puts you through that fiery trial, right? And you're going to go through them. And we all go through them. Right? When that season is done, when you know it's the Lord whipping you, listen, it's going to yield the fruits of righteousness. If you understand that it's coming from the Lord, and don't grieve. Don't get upset and go, Lord, then I'm done with this. Right? You go through the fiery trial of adversity. The Bible says acceptable men are tried in the fire. Just to know that you're acceptable to the Lord, that's a special place to be in the bosom of the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make
See, the feeble knees and the hands that hang down, just slothful and woe is me. Right? Go ahead.
and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed.
You see that? Give yourself, right? David said, I encourage myself in the Lord. It's going to come a time when you got to encourage yourself and tell yourself, man, get rid of them feeble knees, lift up your hands, make straight paths for your feet, and walk the walk.
Yeah.
Right? As you talk the talk. Right? Because you can talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk. Go ahead.
Verse 14, follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
You see that? Without holiness and peace with all men, no man's going to see the Lord. Go ahead.
Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled.
You see that? Is you got things that are within you that could stir up within you and defile you. That brother, man, I don't like him. I remember when he did that to me. I mean, everything going good, and all of a sudden a root of bitterness is stirring up in your life. You're going through marital issues. You're taking it out on other people. Right? Now you become defiled. Your heart becomes waxing grosser, becomes waxing gross, and becomes grosser and grosser. And now you're defiled before the Lord. He can accept your prayers, just like he can accept those Levites' offerings or the people's offerings, because their hearts were calloused, let alone offering up a sick beast. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Now, we laugh at Esau all the time. He sold his birthright. He despised his birthright. But do we despise ours? We sell our birthright every day. How do we do that? Disobedience. Are we any different than Esau if we're continually disobedient to the Lord? Right after Jacob got the scepter and got the staff and the ring, he was the king that was blessed by Jacob. He's walking into a Canaanite city and he stumbles upon, he's drinking. How many Israelites get taken away when they're drunk? When they start drinking? Israelites get taken away when they start drinking. Your heart start meditating on other things and you get pulled away. right? And here goes Judah. Shortly after he receives that scepter and that ring, and he lies with Tamar. Don't even remember what happened last night. So what? Man, burn her, man. Give her the judgment of a prostitute. So with this man's staff right here, this is the man right here. Right? Now he didn't sell his birthright, but you get what I'm saying. How we sell ourselves short. You know what I'm saying? And so when we say a holy nation above all nations, a peculiar people, what makes us holy and what makes us peculiar is his righteous laws. And how he taught us to be versus this world. That we're not supposed to conform to the image of this world. We're not supposed to conform to it. By all means, we're supposed to worship him first, put him first before anything. And there's times when we put stuff before him. And the Lord is jealous. Now we don't want to curse to fall to befall us. Do we? No, we don't. So we must continue in obedience. And with that obedience comes sacrifice. Right? Let's go back to Malachi 2.
Verse 11.
Verse 10 again, because that's an important verse. About understanding the relationship between father and son. The Lord is showing the children of Israel, listen, I'm your father. And you're my sons. You don't think I'm going to chastise you? I definitely am. Go ahead.
Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously, every man against his brother, by profaning the covenant of our Father?
So now, remember what I said earlier about this being contemporary with Ezra and Nehemiah during that Second Temple period. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 1 and 24. So we see the same verbiage here. It should plot. Before we go there, go to 1 Corinthians 8 and 5. 8 and 6. Before we read 2nd Ezra.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 6. But to us, there is but one God.
See, but to us, who's the us? Israel. We don't got a pantheon. We got one God. Go ahead.
The Father.
The who?
The Father.
The who?
The Father.
The Father. He's our Father. That's why Yahweh said, when you pray, pray, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Right? Go ahead.
Of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Mashiach Yahushai, by whom are all things, and we by him.
You see that? So the standard is you got to know Yahweh Shai, because he's the faithful witness of the Father. He's the only begotten. If you don't know the only begotten, you don't know the Father. He's the ambassador. He's the angel that's in the way. He's the mediator. He's the one praying for you and the Father. Allah. Who's that? Which one? Which Allah? Right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra.
Chapter 1,
Verse 24.
24. The 2nd Ezra, chapter 1, verse 24. What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob?
Now, this is the same time. All this madness is going on at Jerusalem. We're going to get there. What shall I do to you? Go ahead.
Thou, Judah?
Thou, Judah. Now he's talking to the southern kingdom, to Judea, because this is taking place in Judah. Go ahead.
Wouldst not obey me? I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name.
You see that? So is he talking about Gentiles? Because he's talking about Judah here. So this company of other nations he's talking about is him speaking in a future prophecy. We see that this second temple period, that got just wiped out the way. For what? For the Most High to go to other nations, other Gentiles. Because he's trying to build Judah right now. He's trying to build the temple. He's trying to keep the legacy of Solomon going. No, we know the glory of Solomon is not there. He's putting up with his people, but his people not putting up with him. So he's saying, listen, I'm going to go to other nations. Right? What do I mean by nations? Now, I'm going to give you an analogy. There's an Israelite and an Edomite in Russia. Are they of the same nation?
Yes.
I mean, I heard two answers.
Like ethnically or within
That's the point. Everything has a context. Right here, he's talking about Judah. There are other Israelites where? All throughout the world. So when he says, I'm going to go to other nations, right? There's Israelites among other nations. It's just that simple. Right? Oh, go ahead. Second verse.
What is that was not obey me? I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes.
There you go. So he's going to give them the name. We went over, it was 2 weeks ago, about Acts 15, about them bearing the name of the Most High, about them being called after his name, which is Israelites. Because he said, I didn't bear rule over them. His name, he didn't call them by his name. Moses went to Egypt and called Israel out by his name. Crystal clear. Go ahead.
Seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When ye desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you. Whensoever ye shall call upon me, I will not hear you. For ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Ye have not, as it were, forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Lord.
So when you think you're going to forsake the Lord, just take a look in the mirror. You're a creation of him. That's why he says, am I not the creator of all? Isn't there not one creator? You forsaking yourself by forsaking me. Go ahead.
Verse 28. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, have I not prayed you as a father his son, as a mother her daughters, and a nurse her young babes?
You see that? He's saying, listen, man, we're an immediate family here. Go ahead.
That ye would be my people, and I should be your God. That ye would be my children, and I should be your father.
There you go. He's our father. He's telling the children of Israel through Malachi, listen, am I not your father? Are you not my children? Right? Go to Ephesians 5 and 1. Ephesians 5 and 1.
It's Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. Be ye therefore followers of God as their children.
Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, not just as children, dear children. Be dear children of the Lord. He's your father, Israel. Right? So I'm letting you see how these paradigms relate, because it's similar messages. Just like Malachi saying, am I not your father? Is not Ezra reminding them, aren't you as my children and I'm your father? So all of this is going on in the same time. Right? Go ahead.
With Matthew 25 and 40. With that,
when it says, he that touches the least of my brethren, right?
Yes, you have done unto me.
Yeah, you have done unto me. Well, I mean, contextually, I wouldn't put that there, but that just shows you Yahweh Shai's intimacy with his brothers. You know, that we're related. Him being the firstborn among many brethren, the scriptures say, right? Let's go to Malachi. verse 11.
This is Malachi verse 2 and 11. Judah has dealt treacherously.
Now you see how it's lining up. He said, Judah in second Ezra. This is what you're doing. He said, Judah have dealt treacherously, meaning they've been deceitful. Right? Go ahead.
And an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem.
So when he says committed in Israel, we know that they're practicing that religion up to the north. We know that's taking place. Samaritanism. We've talked about that before. We've had lessons on it. Right? When you read 1 Kings 17, they were still up there. Sanballat was just coming down. Said, you used to sacrifice to your God. We read that in the book of Ezra. We used to sacrifice him in the days that Asnapper brought us into Israel. So now you got this amalgamation of this heathenistic practice and northern kingdom Israelites committing this abomination in Israel. And the same thing is taking place in Judah and in Jerusalem according to their own compromise. Right? Go ahead.
For Judah had profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved, and had married the daughter of a strange God.
You see that? Married the daughter of a strange God. So there was intermarrying going on, and you had Moabites and Ammonites, right? Now, Ezra's seeing all of this. Nehemiah was a cupbearer before the king in Persia, right? So he requests, listen, let me go and help my people build up the city of Jerusalem, and he gets offered to go. When he gets there, he sees the holy seed being polluted. Get that in First Ezra chapter 8, verses 65. He sees the children of, now remember, they've been there. Now, when you go into the history of Israel going into Babylon by King Nebuchadnezzar, the scriptures say in the book of Kings that the poorest sort of the people were left there. Not all of the southern kingdom went into Babylon. It says the poorest of the sort were left there. So now 70 years takes place. You come back, there's heathen in the land, right? And then when they come back, during the days of Zerubbabel and Mordecai, etc., the temple's built. But then now, this generation passes on, and now people are intermarrying Moabite and Ammonite women, strange women that have other gods. These are priests who are married to a woman that got a damn god in her house. Can two walk together except they be agreed? And now, check this out. You're a priest, your wife got a god. Shouldn't she be put to death? Now, you see how partial the judgment is? Well, I bet you they was picking and choosing which laws to execute when it came to that fine, strange woman you got. Hey, man, that's mine. Don't worry about that. The Lord said, who can know a man in his handmaid? Huh? That's the scripture, right? No. Did Solomon say that? Said picking and choosing now. Right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Ezra chapter 8, verse 68.
It's 65.
65.
Starts at 68.
Start at 65 now.
65. Moreover, they that were come out of the captivity offered sacrifices unto the Lord God of Israel.
You see that? That's what I wanted. Because we got to know the dispensation of time. So they were offering sacrifices then that came out of the captivity, post-exilic, right? Out of Babylon. Go ahead.
Even 12 bullocks for all Israel, 16 rams,
right?
12 lambs, goats for a peace offering,
right?
12. All of them were sacrificed to the Lord. And they delivered the king's commandments unto the king's stewards and to the governors of Cilicia,
Syria. That was a province, right? Go ahead.
and Phoenice,
Phoenice, where you get the Phoenician, what's called the Phoenician Empire, right? That came from the corruption of the name Punt, which is put for the African people. That landmass was called the Phoenician Empire, right? Because you did have Africans in that land. Canaanites was there. Philistines was there during this certain point in history, right? That's where you get that word from. Go ahead.
and they honored the people and the temple of God. Now, when these things were done,
See, they honored the people in the temple of God. Now, when these things were done, go ahead.
the rulers came unto me and said, the nation of Israel, the princesses, the priests and Levites,
See, all of them together. Go ahead.
have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
See, they have not put away the strange people of the land. When we went into the land of Canaan, the scriptures tell you that it's not because of your righteousness why I chose you to go and judge them, because of their wickedness. Their iniquity came to a full. Esau's iniquity has come to a full, so guess what? The Most High has to judge them according to the law of the Karem, which is the winepress, meaning none exist. Right? Because if we just let them exist, what would they say? Years and years beyond after captivity, our fathers rose up and ruled the earth in our own, what they call nouveau secorum. We were the Greeks, we were the Romans. All they're gonna do is huddle in and try to get back what was stolen from them. You ever watched that movie Avatar? What did the Marine say? He said, a Marine never dies. He said, we will regroup in hell. That's Esau's mentality. He got to get put down. He's trying to hide his conscience in computer softwares, man. So he could come back. This man is trying to do anything possible to defy prophecy. This is crazy. Freezing himself, Walt Disney, right? So we got to understand the strangeness of the people. The scriptures tell you are like thorns in our sides. That's in the book of Numbers, where the Lord says that he wanted all of the Canaanites to be utterly destroyed. But what did we do? We kept some alive, and they became thorns in our sides, and then we began to worship their gods. Israel consistently was up and down, wanting to be like the heathen that was round about them. The Lord said, they're going to be thorns in your sides. Yep.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever,
Right.
and their dwelling places to all generations.
Right.
They call their lands after their own names.
There you go. Go to Psalms 106 and 34. Psalms 106 and 34. Might be verse 36. To show you an error of the children of Israel coming out of Egypt. Yeah, go to verse 34. Start from verse 34.
This is Psalms 106, verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them.
See, they didn't destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. He wanted the Canaanites utterly destroyed. Right? Just like he wanted the Amalekites utterly destroyed in the days of Saul. Go ahead.
But were mingled among the heathen.
See, they were mingled among them. Right? Oh, which one's the Israelite? Oh, yeah, right there. Man, Mr. Dan Canaanite walked by. Had fringes on. Right? Go ahead.
And learned their works.
And what?
Learn their works.
Learn their works. Go ahead.
And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them.
See, they served their idols, which were a snare, a trap unto them. Right? Go ahead.
Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils.
Damn. See, that is That is what we did by just leaving those strangers there. Right? They tripped us up, they caused us to stumble, and their idols became snares to us. Now let's go back to 1 Esdras 8.
This is 1 Ezra chapter 8, verse 69 at the top. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests and Levites, have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Pharisees, Jebusites, and the Moabites.
Here you go. See, all of those people were there still, and Israel was amongst them. Right? It was a diverse land, I should say. Go ahead.
Egyptians and Edomites, for both they and their sons have married with their daughters.
See, both they and their sons have married with their daughters. So now you got the seed mingled. Continue.
For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed.
The holy seed is mixed. I can't tell if this brother's an Israelite. I can't. And not only that, it's watered down, and their faith is watered down. They're compromised because you got a Pyong as a wife. Yeah, you got a Su Young. You got a damn a Becky. Hey Becky. Hey, coming over to Keegan's. We're gonna have s'more night. Are you eating pork? Eating gelatin. Right? We're gonna have a bonfire. Got an Israelite over there. Knowing he a damn priest like this with a damn marshmallow on the damn. Yeah. Telling ghost stories and all type of madness. I got the kosher one. Yeah. The kosher marshmallow. Right. You up there looking dumb. You sticking out like a damn sore thumb. Right?
In your fringes.
Right, in your fringes. Knowing your black behind ain't supposed to be there. Right? But now you mingled. Your mentality is compromised. Right? Let's go back. As a matter of fact, let's go to Nehemiah 13 and 19 and get some more detail. Nehemiah was pissed.
Yeah, he was wild.
Yeah, Nehemiah was pissed. He got back. He heard the good news, and he seen the same thing. Ezra was like, listen, man, Judah, if you don't repent, listen, I'm not going to be here at Judah for long. I'm going to take my ministry out elsewhere. And the Lord is going to visit the other nations in the latter time. Right? Is this all what y'all doing here? It's not acceptable. So the Lord had to reform his people by his spirit without no temple. And if you don't believe in Yahweh Shai, you're not going to enter into his kingdom. Point blank, period. Because his zeal for his God is the only thing and the only example that we should follow. Right? Knowing that God is done. Right? Go ahead.
This is Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 22.
19.
Oh, 19.
Yeah, I said verse 19.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants said I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
So you know what they were doing? They was trying to bring burdens and set up shop, right? When he was trying to shut down the gates of the city. Like, no, y'all can't come up here and do no work. They over here setting up shop. evening time. You're like, well, hold on. Nehemiah is about to lose his mind. This is the type of stuff that the heathen were doing alongside Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 20. So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
So he said once or twice. I mean, they was out there consistently. They were forward with this thing. Right? Nehemiah probably told him, look, get out of here, man. And he came back. This wasn't just a one-night thing. This is in general. Go ahead.
Verse 21, then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates.
You see that? That they should cleanse themselves and come and keep the gates, meaning watch whoever is trying to come through here or set up shop around here. Because, listen, this don't benefit us. Right? Go ahead.
To sanctify the Sabbath day. Remember me, O my God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab.
So of Ashdod, that's a Philistine nation, right? Of Ammon and Moab. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 24, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language.
They couldn't speak Hebrew. They spoke a completely different language. Right? Go ahead.
But according to the language of each people.
You see, they spoke different languages. They didn't even have the holy tongue. They spoke the languages of the other nations. So now Nehemiah is like Ezra, when he heard a report, the holy seed is mingled. No one's speaking Hebrew. No one looks like they're an Israelite anymore. And the priests are compromised because of this sin. Go ahead.
And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them.
Smote. Meaning he struck them. He hit them.
Right.
It's like Yahweh beating them with a whip outside in the temple, whooping them outside of the temple. Go ahead.
And plucked off their hair.
Ripped their hair out. Go ahead.
And made them swear by God, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
You see that? Stop mingling with these people. Right? These are righteous people. Go ahead.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Read that again.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
You see that? Solomon married these strange wives. They had all types of gods, and what did they do? Took his heart from serving the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
See, foreign and pagan women caused him to sin. Right? Go ahead.
Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God and marrying strange wives?
So shall we listen to you? That means that they were saying it's okay. Nehemiah had to come set the record straight. Ezra came to set the record straight. Malachi came to set the record straight. Go ahead.
And one of the sons of Joadah, the son of Elisha, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me.
Now you see that? This man, Sanballat, His name rang bells. He was an enemy of Israel. This is the man that came and was saying, hey, they're building the bad city.
Right.
And when he found out one of his in-laws was around, he chased him out the city. Man, get the hell out of here, man. And tell Sambalak to come through him. I'll pluck his head off, his hair off too. I might strike him too. Sambalak was a devil. He tried to conspire against Nehemiah when he was working on the wall. And he was like, hey, man, come in the field. He came several times. Hey, come in the field. Let's just have a talk. And they was probably going to kill Nehemiah. Nehemiah knew what it was about. Nehemiah was rebuking them on it daily. And Sambalak kept coming back around. Right? Go ahead.
Talk your side.
Remember them, oh my God.
See, remember them. Now, are they remembered? Yeah, we read about them. And I'm pretty sure that these men are either here again or were here, right? They're spirits, and they were doing the same type of thing, scoffing, doing the same thing, trying to clog up the work of the Lord, right? Try to seize the power from the children of Israel or seize their inspiration. Go ahead.
Oh my God, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites.
You see, these were prominent men, right, who came down and said, hey, we offered sacrifice with, to your God in the days when we came over. So you see how now the religious representation is also in history understanding what they were doing in Samaria. The historical representation of the religion that they were trying to amalgamate with the Jews was that of the one in Samaria. And he was responsible for much of this compromise. Him and along with the other religious officers, or I should say, the religious people of that land. Right? Go ahead.
Thus cleanse I them from all strangers.
Now wait, notice it says, defile the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. So that means that they thought of something contrary than the Levitical priesthood. They had their own priesthood going on. And clearly it was acceptable to some. So there's even some history when Ezra went down, because remember, Ezra translated the scriptures by the Spirit of the Lord. So when he translated the scriptures, Nehemiah and them collectively were together and seen the transcripts. So now when they were seeing the scripts, you had some that debated, like I believe it was Malachi. And when they kicked him out of that circle, he fled to Samaria. Why did he flee to Samaria? Because he had a little bit of that leaven of that religion that was going on to the north.
Right.
That's why the Lord says in Malachi, there's an abomination in Israel and an abomination in Judah. It's starting to trickle down into Judah as well. And guess what? What did the Lord say to Ezekiel about the two sisters? The northern kingdom was the elder sister, and the southern kingdom was the younger sister. So we see the same thing taking place again. Right? Go ahead.
Thus cleanse I them from all strangers, and appointed the wards for the priests and the Levites, everyone in his business, and for the wood offering at times appointed, and for the first fruits. Remember me, oh my God, for good.
Now you see, let's go to Nehemiah chapter 6. I believe it's 6. Go to 6 and 1.
This is Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem, the Arabian, and the rest of our enemies heard that I had builded the wall and that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates. That Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono.
You see, that's what let's see. He trying to get another. Let's go meet one of the villages. Right? Go ahead.
But they thought to do me mischief.
Go ahead.
And I sent messages unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease? Whilst I leave it and come down to you? Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time with an open letter in his hand.
So he now he's saying, I mean business. You send the message now. This is in writing. Now he's saying, I'm serious about this. Sanballat really didn't want Israelites to build this temple and this wall. Go ahead.
Wherein was written, it is reported among the heathen, and Gashmu saith it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel. For which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king, according to these words.
You see that? So it says, wherein was written, it is reported among the heathen. Now, you see, the heathen is always going to be like, oh, it's Israelites. Right. It's like they're doing right now. Right? It says, and Gashmu saith it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel. See, because we're building the temple wall, they're going to rebel against the world orders, against the powers that be. Right? And it says, for which cause thou buildest the wall. Now, you building the wall is for some sense of protection. That's what a wall is for, it's a defense. So now they're really afraid, like, damn, why they want a wall up? This defense mechanism, right? So it says that thou mayest be their king according to these words. So he's saying, oh, so Nehemiah is trying to set himself up to be their governor and ruler, so you could just wage war and rebel, right? Now read the next verse. This is important.
Verse 7, and thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem.
Say that again.
And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah.
What?
There is a king in Judah.
Say that again.
There is a king in Judah.
What does that sound like? Or who does that sound like? Malachi 1:14. Read that again. Malachi 1:14. This was the message going about concerning the Jews building up this temple and this wall. The heathen are hearing, there's messages going out by these prophets saying that there's a king in Judah. Now, sadly mistaken, they're not talking about Nehemiah, though Nehemiah was a governor, but Nehemiah knew who the real king in Judah was. Right? Who is that? Yahushua. Right? So this is the message of the prophets. Now, these heathen obviously heard this message. Am I right or wrong? Why? Because you got men like Malachi who said stuff like this. Read Malachi 1:14 again.
But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrifices unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
Now you see the pieces coming together now, right? The prophets is going out saying his name is dreadful amongst these heathen. Right? We have a great king in us. There's a king in Judah. Now they're like, we're hearing that you have it, that Nehemiah, you may be this king that they're talking about. What are you trying to do? We're dreadful? I mean, you're God. We're supposed to be, are you dreadful to us? Nehemiah and the prophets are talking about the Most High. They're talking about the ruler over Israel. Right? So now we understand where the dreadful among the heathen are coming from, because these heathen, they're pressed in their minds like they're gonna revolt. They're going to revolt again. Isn't this the same people that overthrew Egypt? Is this the same people? They're talking about they got a king in them, right? Go back to Nehemiah 6 and 7.
This is Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 7. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah. And now shall it be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together.
Punks. Now let's go take counsel together. Right? Y'all talking about this king. Right? There's only one king. And our people was like that for a long time, right? John 19 and 15, really quick. John 19 and 15. Many people are like this, not understanding these scriptures, not understanding the Messiah, not understanding the purpose of the Most High, right? Rejecting the will of the Lord, rejecting the prophets. Go ahead.
John. This is John chapter 19, verse 15. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar.
Wow.
Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified.
All right there. They said, he ain't our king. Caesar's our king. And you see these weak, feeble-minded men, right, hearing that there's a king in Judah, which is Yahushua, right? We're going to report this to the king. You think Yahushua is afraid? He said, my name is dreadful among the heathen. This is that king that Malachi was talking about and the prophets were talking about. When they heard, there's a king in Judah. Let's get this work done. There's a king. Wait, hold on. We got a king? I thought we had one king. I mean, is he making himself sovereign over the Persian and kings of Media and Persia? The Achaemenid Empire is going to be living. Right? That's their mindset. We got to report this. They're saying they got a king in them. Well, there's only one king. Darius is the king. Right? He's the Artaxerxes. Right? So this is what was going on in the times of Malachi. Everybody getting understanding?
Absolutely.
Let's go back to Malachi 2. Verse 12. You got to read it.
Book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 12. Yahweh will cut off the man that doeth this, the master and the scholar, out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto Yahweh of hosts.
See, anybody that does this, meaning you're married and conjoined to a strange wife, I'm going to cut you off. The master, the scholar, you're going to be cut off from the tabernacles of Jacob. Meaning you're not going to abide here. You got to go. That's what the Lord said. Right? You and the idolatrous wife. And then you're with an idolatrous wife coming to sacrifice to me. Well, which one is God? Me or the other, or your wife's God? Which one is your God? It's madness. Right? But this is what Israel was doing. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Is this have ye done again? Covering the altar of...
When it says, and this have you done again, meaning, and this also you're doing. You're doing this also. On top of being conjoined to these strange wives and these strange people, the holy seed being mingled, right? My worship being compromised. On top of that, you're also doing this. Go ahead.
And this have ye done again, covering the altar of Yahweh with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, and so much that he regardeth not the offering anymore, or receiveth it with goodwill at your hand.
That means now y'all coming without offerings. And the priest is like, whatever. You're coming to pray before me with no offering, one. Now, mind you, you should be dead. Blood needs to spill before you come before me. I'm a great king. Like what is going on? Anybody that just run up on any king, right? Especially back then, or even now, just try to run up to the damn White House across that damn lawn to knock on the door. I'm just a UPS worker. They gonna shoot you dead. You think you just go to the Lord any kind of way? He's a great king. You can see on the earth, presidents and prime ministers and sovereign kings, they don't allow anybody in their space without going through a security of defense. Not that the Most High needs to be secure, but he is in order. And he's a terrible God. He's a pure God. Your defiled, polluted self, something needs to die before you go before him. You're unclean. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, the scriptures say. He can see everything on you that is filthy. He don't care how good you look on Instagram photos. He can see little bugs on your face that he created to clean your skin. Right? His eyes are magnified, and he can see your uncleanness. When you go to him and play around with your wife, right? You lay down. He said you're unclean when the seed of coming is on you. You don't get your ass up and take a shower and you go straight to the Lord's house. You're committing sin.
It's crazy how it's called.
Yeah. You're committing sin when you do these things. The Lord is a clean, pure, holy God. Right? When you come to the Lord's house, you should always wash yourself and come to the Lord's house. Because he's a clean God. He's a pure God. Right? And so now you are laid up with your wife that's committing idolatry and crying out to the Lord. That is the biggest hypocrisy ever. Knowing that you're the seed of Abraham. Did Abraham stay with his fathers and, oh Lord, I'm going to stay here with these gods my father died? He left to serve his God, and he only served the Most High. Right? And that's the same faith we have to have. We cannot be conjoined to strange gods or strange people that will keep us stumbling on these gods. Ensnared with these gods. Now, am I speaking about the wife that is not, wholeheartedly following you in this truth and things of that nature? No, I'm not. I'm not talking about that because Paul gives us understanding. Right, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 real quick. 14. It's very important. Now, a strange wife is not a wife that she's not in the truth yet, or she's borderline, or that's not what he's talking about. If your wife is up there with a damn altar in her house with food offered out to demons and stuff, get away from her, bro. If your woman is putting Christmas trees in her house and it's been 2-3 years, separate. I didn't say divorce. Separate. Let her know you mean business. You're not tolerating that. You're not tolerating Thanksgiving. Family come over, you don't show up. He said, it's not going in my house. Me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. So we're going to understand the balance. 1 Corinthians 7:14.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
You see that? The unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife. Meaning, if the wife believes and the husband doesn't, it is the wife's job to convert him. It's the wife's job. As you have many Israelites like, my husband, he just won't. But you know what? It's still your job through the fruits of the Spirit to do what? To what? To try to win him over to Yahweh Shai. Because that's how he's sanctified. Go ahead.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Vice versa. Right? Go ahead.
Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
See, else were your children unclean, but now are are they holy? See why the Lord said, now I'm going to corrupt your seed? Why? Because all of this interracial marriaging going on with these strange women, the seed have been made corrupt. This child was like, mommy worships this God and daddy worships that God. The seed is corrupt, right? And so now, what the scriptures are saying through Paul, else were your children unclean, but now are they holy, meaning set apart. So now you with a wife, y'all coming to the knowledge, right? Now the children could be set apart. The husband could be set apart through you. The wife could be set apart through you as the wife and the husband, right? Next verse.
Verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart,
Meaning if the unbelieving say, listen, I can't deal with your God. I can't, do this whole Israelite thing, right? Go ahead.
let him depart.
Let him depart. Go ahead.
A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases.
That means that if they leave you because you chose the truth, then y'all are, like what the Lord says, you're going to be cut off from the tabernacles of Jacob if you commit this thing. So if they decide by the Spirit, the Most High sever them out and they leave you, you're not under bondage. She wanted to go her way and not serve your God. You got to go serve your God. That's why Yahweh Shai said, any man that want to be my disciple, hate mother, hate father, hate wife, hate sister, hate brother, hate children. Because you may have to go to that degree in order to believe in your God, where you have to reject them. Right? And you can't be on your emotions if they leave you for your God. Right? Go ahead.
But
a brother or sister.
A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God hath called us to peace.
See, God has called us to peace. Right? What does that mean? That the Lord, he called us to peace, not strife with your wife and fighting every day, not strife with your husband and fighting every day over this truth. Right? If she be pleased to dwell with you, though she's not as zealous as you are, then let her dwell with you. She don't put shrimp, pork, lobster in the fridge, right? She don't got the Christmas tree up. She know you don't do Valentine's Day. If she be pleased to dwell with you, okay, baby, I know you found this new thing. All right, I'm gonna stay at home and stuff like that. Dwell with her. Don't just put her away, call her Jezebel. Give her her time like the Lord gave you your time, and vice versa. Right? The Lord has called you to peace. So if they decide to leave, fine. The Lord called you to peace. Whether they stay and she or he be pleased to dwell with you, that's peace. And whether they leave, you've been called to peace. Not to combat every day about two separate gods. And that's what the priests and the people in the time of Malachi, Ezra, and Nehemiah were doing. Saying that it was acceptable to be amongst this strange heathen. Right? Let's go back to Malachi.
Book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 14. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because Yahweh hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth.
So he's saying, look, you said, now the people saying, now you saying why? Like, why, Lord? Why are you going to cut us off? Why are you going to tell us that we got to be cast out of the tabernacles of Jacob, like we're not Israel no more? Like, why are we going to be cut off from being your people? Like, don't my tears matter? Right? I mean, I'm crying out to you, right, Lord? No, your life, even you cry all you want. You got something going on that I want fixed or get out. I'm a jealous God. You all laid up with this Moabite, this Ammonite, this Philistine, this Edomite that worships another God. I can't deal with it. I can't bear it. And you come into my house offering sacrifices. Let alone not even offering sacrifices, but crying out and weeping thinking it's acceptable when you should suffer the punishment of death. Because you're suffering sin upon your people and you're allowing idolatry to run like a disease in the land. Go ahead.
Because Yahweh have been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth.
See, the wife of thy youth is very important, like I illustrated before. Now imagine, right? These men had wives of their youth. Wives of their youth is this. 70 years is not that long. This was about 2 generations of Israelites. The elders, when they came back and they saw the completion of the temple, they wept. When they saw the cornerstone, get laid down, they wept. Because there were elders who saw the temple of Solomon. And they saw this, they just knew that this temple wasn't going to live up to Solomon's glory. They wept. Now, these are these men's children. So these men who taught them right, what are they going to do? They're going to say, marrying your people, just like Tobit. He said, marry one of your own tribe. Right? Especially in these times where you were oppressed, where you were taken captive to another land, stay with your own people. Right? So now, what you have going on is these men and the wives of their youth. Now, back in ancient times, especially in Israel, right, a father and another man, a father and 2 fathers, right? If this father had a daughter and this father had a son, and these fathers were good friends, and these 2, individuals grew up with each other, right? And they bond. There's laws if these 2 want to come together when they come of age. That's the wife of his youth. I gave you the example of your first love. You can have a wife of your youth, and then when you're 35, I don't want to have a second wife. The red bone probably put up a little fight or whatever. If she's not the polygynist, polygyny is lawful. However, it's order to it. Now, she may allow a second wife to come in. Now, just imagine if this second wife is a damn Moabite that worships another god. Now she's going to be like, he has lost his damn mind. She's going to speak up about it and speak up about it and speak up about it. Right? And she's going to keep reiterating to him that she shouldn't be a part of the family. She has another god. What are you doing? Right? Go ahead.
Against whom thou hast dealt treacherously.
See, he said, why are you saying why should this all happen? He said, because how you treat your wife concerning these strange women, you are dealing with her deceitfully. You're putting these strange women before the wife of your youth. You're putting this strange woman, this wife you just linked up with, right? Compromising with, and you're dealing treacherously with the wife of your youth. Shame on you, brother. And this happens. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at all of the entertainers, right? Michael Jordan. Who else? That's a lot of Snoop. You got all these women married to them from the days of middle school, high school, right?
Drake, Blake Griffin's father.
What are you talking about? No, we're not talking about that. Let me let my plane, brother. So listen. So you got Michael Jordan when he was going through high school in North Carolina, right? And the early rookie years, Chicago Bulls, and he had that one woman that was by his side. Money got to him. And what did he do? Divorce. Why? He was dealing with his wife deceitfully for white women. Now he's with a white woman. Many of these black men do that. They be with that one woman, that one black woman, that one Hispanic woman, and then when they get big enough, you'll see them with that damn white woman. You'll see them with that white woman. And this is what the Lord is talking about. The Lord is talking about how you dealing treacherously with the wife of your youth. Well, look at James Brown. He's a perfect example. He treated black women like a dog and treated the white woman like she was a goddess. When that white woman's a dog. Right? He treated our woman like dirt. Yeah, all these men, man. All these rich black men, man, doing that. See, this is what was taking place then, and the Lord, he hates that. Let alone now, because this strange woman's enticing you, now you're thinking about putting her away. And that's what was going on. They were putting away the wives of their youth and being conjoined to strange women. The woman that's telling you to be a better man. The woman that's telling you don't do this and don't do that. And now guess what you're doing? You with this new chick. And she ain't got nothing about God going on in her life. Right? Go ahead. Read from 14 again. Yeah.
Verse 14. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because Yahweh hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet is she thy companion.
See? Yet is she thy companion. Right? Go ahead.
And the wife of thy covenant.
See, this is the wife that you made a covenant with. Right? Under my terms and under my laws, I do things right. You're supposed to love this woman, right? You're supposed to abide by this covenant. Now, because of this strangeness that has entered into the land and the strangeness that has entered into your heart, now you're disobeying and breaking the covenant with the wife of your youth. This is Malachi pointing out all of these sins. Right, go to Proverbs 2 and 10. And you go to Proverbs 5 and 15.
This is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 10. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee.
You see that? They lost their discretion. They lost their, what does scripture say about men? There are many men that have lost their wits for a woman. That's what scriptures. And they have lost their wits. And they have married a strange woman. And they have not abided in the covenant with the wife of their youth. That happens. Men be like, man, she's just not exotic enough. Man, she been cooking and cleaning for you. She done gained weight for you. She done did all of that. You got an exotic woman now. Yeah, man, I'm the man now. Man, this woman pulling you deep. The Lord like, man, get back to your wife. Put your wife away for this strange exotic woman. You riding a Ferrari looking like, what's the movie, Crybaby? Driving all wild. Yeah, remember those freaking about to crash into the semi. You want to live now, right? You want to live the wild life? Go ahead, drop off the damn cliff next. Simple nigga. Right? Go ahead, read that out. Lost his damn mind.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern.
See, drink waters out of thine own cistern. Go ahead.
And running waters out of thy own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thy own, and not strangers with thee.
See, let them only be thine own, and not strangers with thee. Go ahead.
Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
Let thy fountains be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. What does it mean talking about fountains? That's talking about your children, right? That spring forth from you. Those are your fountains, right? Go ahead.
Verse 19. Let her be as a loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love.
See, always be ravished with the wife of your youth's love. The woman The apple of your eye, always be ravished with her love. Right? You're gonna go through ups and downs, but guess what? Don't put her away. She's your partner. Remember when we went down to Genesis 2 and 21, bro? The Lord said it's not good for man to be alone. That didn't mean that every man needs a woman at that time of his life. Brothers use that scripture. It's not good for a man to be alone. I need something. That's not what the Lord was talking about. He saw Adam working. He saw Adam, out there trying to be an agricultural man. He was trying to subdue the earth, and he could not do it alone. He needed somebody who he could go home to and not open up the damn cabinet and make his own self some rice and beans and chicken. He needed a woman to do that for him, to provide for him and to serve him as he's serving the Lord. Right? That's what it meant. It's not good for a man to be alone. Not just because you want to rub up on something. You need somebody to help you build a legacy, right? And let your rivers and your fountains continue, right? That your fountains can be blessed through that woman, right? Go ahead. Yep.
And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman?
See? Why wilt thou be ravished with a strange woman? Go ahead.
And embrace the bosom of a stranger. For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he pondereth all his goings.
Mm-hmm.
His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray.
No. Go to Proverbs 2 and 10 now. Now you see how this strange woman could ensnare you, and you can lose your footing. And that's what was happening to these men, to these priests. Right? Go ahead, Proverbs 2 and 10.
This is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 10. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things, who leads the path of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even
to deliver thee from the strange woman. Go ahead.
Even from the stranger which flattereth with her word.
You see that? See, this strange woman is flattering you with her words. She knows how to seduce you. Right? Go ahead.
Even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her youth.
See, she forsakes the guide of her youth. She forsakes her own father. Go ahead.
And forgetteth the covenant of her God.
You see that? So this is not just talking about, any old stranger, heathen. This could be an Israelite woman too. An Israelite woman can be a strange wife. There's a lot of Israelite women that's in the witchcraft and the brujeria, santeria, right? And praying to the ancestors, Christianity, right? Islam, you name it. That's a strange woman. Go ahead.
Verse 18, for her house inclineth unto death, and her path unto the dead.
Look at that. Her path leads you right to the dead. Death. And you know it. You know it like a poet. Go ahead.
Verse 19, none that go into her return again.
See, none that go into her return again. She's like that black widow. Go ahead.
Neither take they hold of the paths of life.
See, they don't take hold of the paths of life. And the priests were not taking hold of the paths of life. The people of the land were not taking hold of the paths of life. There was a new way cast up, and they were following it. Now Malachi, Ezra, and Nehemiah had to go, right, as prophets of the Lord to tell these people, why are you going in the way not cast up? This is a stumbling block leading you away from the ancient paths. This was not taught to us by our fathers. And we made a covenant with our God not to conduct ourselves like this. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 20, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of the righteous.
Mm-hmm.
For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it.
You see that? The perfect gonna remain in it. And all of you that's partaking in this iniquity with this strange woman, you're gonna be cut out from the tabernacles of Jacob. Go ahead.
But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth,
Uh-huh.
and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it.
There you go. Let's go back to Malachi chapter 2. Let's finish it up.
Verse 15. Did not he make one? Yet had he
make a covenant? Go ahead.
Yet had he the residue of the Spirit?
No, it's a yet had the residue of the Spirit.
Yet had he the residue of the Spirit? And wherefore one? That he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and that none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth.
Here you go. So he said, did not you make one? Didn't you have understanding that you made a covenant with this woman? Did not you understand that? Right? And that you were supposed to raise up godly seed? Now I see ungodly seed, corrupt seed. They don't speak the Hebrew. How can they call on my name? They got all type of amalgamated cultures in the land now. Get them from out of here. Go ahead.
For Yahweh, the power of Israel, saith that he hated putting away.
See, he's saying, I hate putting away. Right? Because that's what they were doing. Putting away the wife of their youth, conjoining themselves with strange women. Go ahead.
For one covereth violence with his garment.
That means that your garment is covered with violence. Right? It stands out. Right? Go to Psalm 73, verse 5. It stands out, and you're proud and you're boasting in it. Right? You don't think that what you're doing is wrong because you got access to the altar, because you got access to the temple, and you're just crying out, thinking I'm accepting you, when you're actually perpetuating something even Solomon did, conjoining himself to strange women. Let alone worse, the priest not even caring about anyone offering a sacrifice, just taking it, if you got a sacrifice, yeah, if you got one, you don't, whatever. Come in the temple, just do what you got to do, leave. Lame, sick, okay, we'll take it. Right? This is what was taking place. Compromise. Go ahead.
This is Psalm 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
See, they're not in trouble. This is the wicked. Meaning, they don't got no troubles. And they don't got no worries. They're not plagued like righteous men. Righteous men are plagued with the will of the Lord all day. Like, we can't stand living here. We're troubled all day. Let alone living in this world, living in this flesh, living in this captivity. We're plagued and we're troubled all the day long. But the wicked, they're not plagued. They don't care about the world getting better. They just care about their daily life. That's it. Go ahead.
Verse 6, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment.
See, pride, they chain to pride. And it covereth them as a garment, right? Go ahead.
Their eyes stand out with fatness.
Read that again, verse 6.
Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment.
There you go. Violence covereth them as a garment. Right? So what that's talking about is that they can be seen. Their sin can be seen on them. It stands out. Right? You know a person when, like, you got these rich white guys, right? They super rich. How the hell you get that damn rich? You wicked. You have to see it on you in the damn country club. After the damn country club, you probably gonna go to the damn buy a stripper or an escort or something. Then go back home to your wife. Hey, honey, how was work?
Sleep like a baby too.
Right, wicked. And he don't got no worry. Right? That's what the wicked do. Right? Violence covereth them as with a garment. Right? And violence not just talking about blood. Violence meaning your actions. Right? Of breaking the law. Guilty of breaking the law. Your iniquity. Right? Is that as the act of violence. Right? Go back to Malachi chapter 2.
Verse 16. For Yahweh, the power of Israel, save that he hateth putting away. For one covereth violence with his garment, save Yahweh of hosts. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously.
So take heed to your spirit, that you don't deal deceitfully. It means it take heed to your spirit. What does take heed mean?
Listen to your spirit.
Listen to your spirit. What Yahweh Shai say? The spirit is ready, the flesh is weak. So you got a war going on inside. Take heed to your spirit that is ready to do what's right. And the flesh don't get you caught up. Right?
Could that also mean, not also, but like in the same likeness, mean like where like bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, when he said like take heed to your spirit, meaning like a woman who has the same spirit?
Well, I wouldn't put bone in my bone with that. You know, bone in my bone, you two are one flesh. You two are one flesh. Your spirit is responsible, right? Like being one spirit, you know, that's under the confines of one accord with the will of the Lord. But, you know, what?
Your spirit knows if it's real, like you're doing anything. Your spirit knows.
Yeah, your spirit knows.
knows if it's real and if your heart is pure. Only your spirit can tell you that.
Yeah, your spirit, like I told you, that scripture going to the spirit is ready, the flesh is weak. Your spirit be the one like,
So the spirit willing.
when you going off and you try to go left, your spirit be the one, brother. Brother. Yeah. Right? Your flesh be like, I'm trying to fight the spirit. Right? Feet weigh 60 damn pounds. Right? But your spirit is trying to save you. Right? So you can enjoy the blessings of the Lord rather than that curse being poured out. Right? Verse 17.
Verse 17. Ye have wearied Yahweh with your words.
See, you have wearied Yahweh with your words, right? Go ahead.
Yet ye say, wherein have we wearied him? When ye say, everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of Yahweh.
You see? So they think that evil is good. And this is what you're saying subconsciously. This is what the Lord is saying. This is what, by your actions, this is what you're saying. Go ahead.
And he delighteth in them. Or where is God of judgment?
You see?
So where is the God of judgment?
So what it's saying is first and foremost, God delights in what we're doing. He's okay with it. This is what they're saying to themselves. God is okay with what's going on in Judah right now. It's okay. And when everything seems like going, it seems like it's going wrong, where's the God of judgment? The God of judgment is coming to you through this prophet right now, telling you what you're doing improperly. That's the God of judgment, the messenger of God. His voice in these prophets, they're saying, is there a king in Jacob? Saying, I'm a great king, the Lord of hosts. That's his name. Listen, he's the king that's ruling over all of this. And if you don't get right, the curse is gonna, matter of fact, the curse is already befalling you. That's what the Lord said. Because he knew that they weren't gonna repent in their heart and change. And you see how it trickled down between that 400-year period to the times of John the Baptist, who is Elijah, which we're going to continue in next week, who prepared the way for Yahweh Shah. Because that was basically like the last baton of the relay race. Right? And we in this race, right? Trying to get to the finish line, and Yahweh Shah and saying, look, come on, let's go. You know what to do now. I've laid down my life. I've laid down my testimony, how you should live, and I've taught you, right, what God has said through me. So follow me as I follow the Most High. Very simple. God? Any questions or answers? Questions, comments, observations?
Yeah, I got a question. Something real good.
Everybody full though?
Full.
Stuff. It's like it. Pertaining to Proverbs 2 and 10 on down, pertaining to Proverbs 5 and 15 on down, and even in Malachi, and linking that up with Hosea 12 and 10 with the multitudes and similitudes,
Right.
and Job 11 and 6 with the manifold. The way I've always used that also, right, because in Revelation 2 and 4, you know, our first love is Yahweh Shah.
Right, yeah.
So the way I've always linked that spiritually,
Yeah.
with the
wife of the youth.
the wife of your youth.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yahweh Shah.
Yeah,
So I always also use that with
Right.
not only strange woman and the woman in Malachi
Right.
being a literal woman, even though contextually that's what it's talking about.
Right.
I've also used that with it being doctrine, like even Sirach 19 and 2, where
Right.
wine and Jeremiah
Right.
51 and 7 is doctrine, and woman, the harlot being in Revelation 17,
Right.
Of mystery Babylon. So
Right.
I'm not going off. I'm just asking.
No, the wife of your youth is a representation of the covenant too.
praises.
Something you married
So I'm
to.
not going off.
So go to Isaiah 54 and 6. Really quick.
Where I read it.
Isaiah 54 and 6.
This is my question. I got you.
That also goes hand in hand with
I just wanted to make sure.
spirituality. Yeah.
That's the way I always use, especially Malachi 2. Anytime I've broken that down, I always associated it with that. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 54 and 4, you said?
56 and 4.
56.
No, 54 and 6. A lot.
54 and 6.
54 and 6.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 6. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, then thou wast refused, saith God, thy God.
You see that? So we were also likened unto the wife of our youth, or the wife of the Most High's youth, right? Because he's been there with us since the beginning phases. So the wife of our youth is who we were beforehand and what we followed beforehand in the spiritual sense as well. What we should be married to. Going into Revelation 2 and 4, we talked about you have forsaken your first love. Your first love is this.
Right.
First love is you and your zeal for your God and understanding these covenants, these promises
Right.
that come through our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the patriarchs.
Good question.
And that'll also align with, a bishop and a
Having
deacon
one
shall
wife.
have one wife.
Right.
Don't pretend. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I always went that up for that breakdown. You know what I'm saying?
Any more?
Just where's the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities have you sold yourselves, and for your transgressions is your mother.
So with that, we're gonna close out. Kwam waha panakwadam. Kwam wa panahako.
The Psalms 113. Praise ye Yahweh. Praise, O ye servants of Yahweh. Praise the name of Yahweh. Blessed be the name of Yahweh from this time forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same Yahweh's name is be praised. Yahweh is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Who is like unto Yahweh our God, who dwelleth on high, who humbleth himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in the earth? He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill, that he may set him with princes, even with the princess of his people. He maketh the barren woman to keep house, and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, Yad, Aman.
Amen.
Can you face forward? Hold, face forward. Remember, the one is right. Konya, the one. Abajam. Barak. Yahweh.
Hashem Yahshua Barakah.